Well, hi guys, Mark here. We're here at Poole Moto again in the south of England, and really pleased today to be bringing you a review on the all new Royal Enfield Himalayan 450. Stay tuned and I'll give you my thoughts on it. Well, hi guys, Mark here. Pleased today to be bringing you a review on the all new Royal Enfield Himalayan 450. So these are just literally dropping into dealers in the UK this week, and many thanks again to Poole Moto for lending me this bike today. So what we do in the usual fashion, just run through all the specifications, go for a little test ride on some A roads, dual carriageways, bit of town, some light tracks and trails, and then we'll finish off at the end with the final thoughts down at Poole Harbour. So pricing on these, they start at £5,750, that's for the brown colour, and it goes up to £6,300 for the white or the black, which are the tubeless editions. So all new engine now on the Himalayan. It's a 451.65cc liquid cooled single cylinder double overhead cam 4-valve. So lots more power and torque now for this model. It's got 39.45 horsepower at 8,000 RPM, and torque is a strong 40 Newton meters at 5,500 RPM. A2 compatible. So tyres on this, you have the Sayat manufacturer from India. It's a 90 on the front with a 21-inch front wheel, which is really good for going over the rough stuff. And they've got a, obviously a dual-purpose tread pattern here, which is ideal for this sort of light tracks and trails. And on the rear, we have a 17-inch rear wheel with a 140 on the rear there. So seat is very, very comfortable on this. 825mm is standard, and that can be increased, I'll show you in a minute, with a little sort of bar that goes up to 845mm, or there is a low seat option at 805mm. So just put the key in the side there to undo the lock, take off the rear seat, take off the front seat, and there is the adjuster for the seat height. So underneath here we have all your ABS, battery, relays, all that sort of stuff. Even has a little nut for your front wheel axle, which is quite novel. Just take a look at me on the bike as a reference. I'm 5'7" tall with a 30-inch inside leg, 170 centimeters tall, and I weigh about 75 kilos. Just compare that for yourself. So Enfield are quoting 3.6 litres for 100 kilometres, which equates to around about 75 miles per gallon UK. It's got a big 17-litre fuel tank, so you should get well over 250-mile range out of this, which is superb. Weight is 181 kilograms, dry, 196 kilograms wet. Recommended oil is 10W40 semi-synthetic. Obviously it's a new bike, it's running in, but the gearbox initially is very slick, very positive, 6-speed, no problems there. We've got ride-by-wire throttle with 4 riding modes. So just looking around the bike, you know, it's a big step up in quality and refinement to the previous Himalayan. We have a USB just under there, so it has phone connectivity. It's got the tripper dash with full map navigation. You know, half of the sort of dash becomes your nav, and the info is underneath there with your speedo, so that's a really nice touch. We have Showa upside down forks, which give an excellent ride quality on and off road. 200mm of travel front and rear. Single disc on the front and single disc on the rear, and they are by Brie, which is by Brembo. Switchable ABS, 3-year warranty. I like the fact that it comes with the rack, so you can put your top box on there. Looks like you can fit luggage here as well. That's a nice touch. LEDs all round. You know, this really is looking a good bike. Servicing is pretty much like the other Enfields. They say it's a 3,000 mile interim service with a 6,000 mile oil change interval. Personally myself, I'd probably change the oil a bit sooner, more like 3,000 miles. But I say it's very impressive to look at. Really like this sort of black and gold, really looks smart. Really pleased also that these come with a centre stand, which is great for maintenance and cleaning. But the build quality, just first impressions, looks really good. Royal Enfield have done another cracking job with this. So non-adjustable front forks by the look of it, and we have a preload monoshock tucked up in there. So there we are, guys. Let's do the test ride. Himalayan 450. Let's try this out. So this is the standard seat, and it's in the lowest position. As I said, I'm 5'7" tall, 170 centimeters, and I've got the balls of my feet down, and I suppose my heels are about an inch off the ground. So it's not a tall bike. Really comfortable when you sit on it. You sit right into the bike. Lovely comfy seat, nice bars. So we just run through all the controls. So we have a cable operated clutch. That button there is your home button. You have your high beam and pass, indicators, horn. That's your toggle and select switch for your menu. We'll look at that in a minute. Over this side you've got your riding modes button, engine start and kill, and your hazards. So really nice dash on this, really does look good. Lots of information to talk about on this. So we've got our rev counter, your fuel gauge in the middle there, gear indicator, speedo, all your warning lights. So if we press this button here, you've got your different riding modes. Ride mode performance, we've got ride mode performance rear ABS off, and let's just go that again, eco, and then eco rear ABS off. So I'll keep it in performance, which is good. So when you hold here, you've got all your different trips. So you've got trip 1 currently averaging 81 to the gallon, which is brilliant. You've got trip 2, fuel range, fuel consumption, voltage, service due, and engine temperature. So that's all good. This is now your settings menu, where you've got the appearance, trip preference, my vehicle, system information, favourites. So that's kind of that there. You can also do is you can download the Royal Enfield app to your phone. I think then you hold the scroll button to the right, it brings up a code there, and then you hold your phone, you scan that code, and then that can then take you into the navigation, which is sort of really good because you can sort of see the navigation on the top there and all your speedo down here. So that's great. Anyway, let's start her up. So really nice sound, really good. Do love the rev counter there, that's nice. So let's try this out. Super smooth clutch, easily into first gear, and away we go. So out on the open road on the all new Himalayan 450, and straight away, guys, I have to say it's good. It's really good. It's a big step up from the other model, which was brilliant, but this is just more power, more refined. So we're just going to start off just talking about these mirrors, the usual things that we see on most of the Enfields, but they do a good job. I can see just a little bit of my elbows and shoulders, but on the whole a decent clear view behind. So that dash is really nice. There's so much information there. It's bright, it's clear. I can see revs, speed, gears, all my trips, all very easily, so that's superb. Currently showing 73 to the gallon, which is excellent. Riding position, as you would expect from an adventure style bike, lovely and upright, great riding position, very comfortable seat. It's not too tall. You can get a lower seat for it, or you can adjust this seat higher, so that's brilliant. So the new engine, what's it like? Well, in a nutshell, brilliant. Very free revving, smooth for a single, and lots of torque as well. So if we just drop this down to a 4th gear, 35, I'll wind it wide open. As you can see, plenty of power there. The Himalayan now has power. Brilliant. But just riding along like this at a steady sort of 55, 60, very smooth for a single, totally acceptable. I mean, you know that you're on a single, but just when you're riding along on partial throttle, you can't really feel anything. When you open it up, you could feel the power pulses coming through the pegs, but absolutely fine for a single cylinder. So we're just going to try the brakes now, just front brake only, nothing behind. So yeah, very good, still bedding in, but absolutely perfect for this style of bike. 2nd gear, it's going to wind it out through that lovely mid-range. No need to rev it more than about 6,000 really. Plenty of power between 4 and 6. With about 40 horsepower, I'm estimating this is going to do around about 95 mile an hour top speed. But the thing is, now it will do 70 and have, you know, more to go, whereas the old Himalayan was pretty much flat out at 70. This can now cruise effortlessly at sort of highway speeds. So a big 21-inch front wheel that still handles really well. The bike doesn't feel heavy, you know, it's near on 200 kilos fully fueled, but it doesn't feel that. More like about 160, 170 to me. Suspension feels very comfortable. It doesn't sort of pogo. It's got quite a lot of suspension travel, but it feels very well damped. It's all pretty bumpy down here, but all in all, very comfortable ride, and the seat is exceptionally comfortable. Loads of leg room. If you were taller than me at 6 foot, you'd have no problems here at all. Not overly keen on this tiny little screen here. I do have a thing where I like big screens on adventure bikes, but I'm sure there are many options on the market, or soon to come onto the market, of taller screens. That'd be one thing I would definitely change. I'd put some handguards on it as well. But so far, first impressions, very good. It's a very willing engine. 5th gear, look, just opening it up, really wants to pull nicely. So you can feel the power pulses from the single cylinder, but it's most definitely not annoying vibrations or rough feeling. It feels a very well built quality bike. Right, so we'll just try the Himalayan down some light tracks and trails. I mean, this bike was pretty much built for this sort of stuff, and a lot more. So I'm just standing up now. That feels really good, fits me nicely. As I said, you wouldn't expect anything less from a bike like this. It's totally designed for this sort of stuff. So it feels really comfortable standing up. Sitting down, really comfortable. 200mm of suspension travel, feels very compliant. Into 3rd gear, very bumpy down here. Just standing up again. Plenty of low down pull from that new single cylinder engine. Just dropping it down to second. ABS all works well. Loads of pull from low down. Winding through all these potholes. Low speed manoeuvring, all very easy on the rough stuff here. Clutch is super light. So yeah, feel very comfortable on this, sort of doing this sort of stuff. So there you are, guys. The Himalayan, you know, we all know it's a given that it's going to be okay on this sort of stuff, but I can say to you now that it's really good, and a lot of fun to be had off-road on one of these. Third gear, just going to wind this out for you to show you how it performs. So there you can see, very easily up to the legal limit. Just cruising at 60 now, just under 5,000 RPM. Engine feels very relaxed, doesn't feel stressed. Obviously if you open it up, it's got plenty more to go. I think things that I really like about this bike so far, it's very comfortable. Suspension feels really nicely set up. Those front upside down shower forks are superb. Give it really good ride quality on and off road. Back brakes, got a superb bit of bite to it. Right, let's just see how this rolls on in fifth. 40 miles an hour, wide open in fifth. And there you have it. So you can see it's a very free revving. It's very happy to rev. It likes to be revved, but on the other hand, you know, if you want to take it to the other end of this scale, just poodle along. Look now, top gear, 3.5. 50 mile an hour in top. It doesn't complain at all. There's no sort of snatchiness in the drivetrain. Throttle response is very mellow as well. Anyway, let's take it through town now, shall we? What's the Himalayan like through town? Because a bike like this is going to be spending a lot of time at low speed, I would think. So we're currently in fourth gear, 3,500 revs. Very nicely fueled. Fuel injection feels really precise. Just going down the gearbox now, nice and slick and easy. Into second, very light clutch and gearbox, that's nice. Swings from side to side easily, doesn't feel heavy. Third gear now, just pottering along at 2,500 revs. Good news, there's no nasty sort of surging. Sometimes single cylinders can be a bit hunt and surge on the fuel injection to meet the emissions, but no, this is just purring along lovely. Lots of pull as well if you open it up. Down to second, into first. Very easy for slow speed running. God, doesn't it pull well from 2 and 3? So there we go, there's your sort of 30 mile an hour, third gear. Oh, that's really nice. Yeah, they've done it well here. Nicely fueled, good response. Still in sport mode and the throttle response is absolutely fine. Feels nice and tall, so you've got good views of everything. It's a very easy bike to sort of flick around. It's very responsive. All the controls all light and very smooth. Not missed any gears on it, so that's good. So there you are. Just see if it will take fourth. There you go, look, fourth gear, 30 miles an hour, 3,000 revs, smooth as you like. So that's brilliant. So 5 stars again for the new Himalayan at the low speeds. what's the Himalayan like on the dual carriageways at the highest speed. So just winding it out to 4th, 5th, 6th. So here we go. This is where this new motor shines over the old one. We're here at 70 miles an hour, and we've still got a good 20 or so miles an hour left in reserve. So we're doing 70 at about 5,500 RPM. No vibes through the bars or the seat, just a tiny bit coming through the pegs, but totally acceptable, nothing nasty to worry about, totally acceptable for a single cylinder. If I just slow it down a bit, 55 to a wide open in top gear. As you can see, very keen, pulls very well. Wind blast acceptable at this sort of speed. You could quite happily maintain this for hours. I say, if it was me, I would get a bigger screen for it, most definitely. Feels very stable at this speed. Bit of a crosswind at the moment, but no problems at all. Mirrors are pretty clear. The whole bike feels well put together and very stable at speed. So there we are, you see we're just sitting at a nice 70 with no effort whatsoever, which is where this new bike really shines. So there you are guys, new Himalayan, 5 stars at the higher speeds. Okay, let's wrap it up down here at the lovely Poole Harbour. Well, I'm very impressed with that indeed. Royal Enfield have done great on this. So into first, easily into neutral, that's great. We'll just leave the lights and indicators running. Decent side stand. So that's it on low beam. High beam. All good. Interesting that you these are your yeah, look, I haven't noticed that. So your brake lights and your lights are actually built into here. Interesting. Superb. Little sound check. Brilliant guys. Well, the new Royal Enfield Himalayan certainly hits the spot. So very, very capable off-road. I mean, I only scraped the surface of taking it off-road, but I would say it's very, very capable on big off-road adventures. Big 21-inch front wheel there with an off-road sort of styled tyre there. You can get the tubeless options for it. Very, very good engine that, you know, it's free revving, smooth, pokey, ideal for this really. You know, I mean, if you just want a sort of a lightweight, if you don't want to go down the route of a big heavy 1200 adventure bike, you know, you want something smaller and lighter, it's plenty of power off-road, and it still does sort of 70 mile an hour with more to spare, so that's great. Good rear brake, good front brake, all good there. Lovely suspension, very long travel, very plush over all the bumps. I like the fact that you can adjust the seat up a bit more. This is in the low position, you can get a low seat as well. Very, very comfortable indeed. All your luggage options. Dash is really informative now. You've got your tripper navigation that can be put to it. Or you've got riding modes, USB, all your sort of modes and everything there can be adjusted there with that toggle switch there. It's very economical. We'll just try it onto the centre stand. Not done this before. So, oh, yeah, moderate amount of strength to put on, but not too bad. So I love the fact that it comes with a centre stand. I'll just give you a look at the build quality. Definitely looks a sort of another step up for Royal Enfield, this. So yeah, super impressed guys with that. Very, very good indeed. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, please guys. Don't forget to please give me a like, share and subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you again in a week or so for another review. Ride safe guys, all the best, and bye for now.